excited to teach you about freezer cooking. Freezer meals have by far been one of the biggest things that have helped our family in life. It gives us back time. We can enjoy so many more dinners together as a family, and it's completely taken the pressure of cooking off of my plate. I used to get super stressed out, and I had this mindset when I got married that I would be that kind of mom that had fresh baked cookies for school and a great dinner on the table every night. Some of this stems from the fact that I love to cook and I love to spend some time in the kitchen, but as our household has grown to a family of 6, that is just not realistic. And there's no way in the world that I can keep up with the demands of a full, healthy dinner for my kids and my family every single night. So today I'm super excited to teach you about the one thing that completely changed everything for me and in our family. And that's raw freezer meals. What raw freezer meals are is completely different than the old school meal prep concept that people used to talk about, or maybe you traditionally think about when you hear me say freezer cooking. Back in the day, people would spend an entire day working really, really hard to make really good food, package it all up after cooking it. I mean, we're talking about sometimes spending 12, 14 hours in the kitchen, putting all that food in the freezer and then reheating it. Now, this is a huge blessing to so many different families, and by no means am I saying that you shouldn't do it this way, but it didn't really work for our family because at the end of the day, I needed to find a full day to spend time in the kitchen and have so much cleanup afterwards. I just felt stressed out at that. I would feel bad if I didn't do it. I would go buy a ton of stuff at Costco. I wouldn't spend my day cooking. Things would go bad. It just became a mess. But when I discovered raw freezer cooking, that changed it all. As you can see here in this recipe, I am throwing the chicken into my freezer bag raw. I have beautiful spices that I mix together, and all that is going into the freezer bag too. Basically, all of my ingredients are thrown together into the freezer bag, and I didn't cook a thing. Sometimes you've got some veggies to cut up, but in this particular recipe, it's seasonings, it's coconut milk, and it's chicken. That's it. Once you throw everything into your freezer bag, you're done. I love this because now that means that I can spend less than 5 minutes per meal, sometimes a few extra, sometimes a few less, depending on the recipe, and I'm done meal prepping. In fact, if I am doing a weekly meal prep for my family, I usually spend about 45 minutes cooking in the kitchen. And when I say cooking, I mean cutting some stuff up and throwing it into a freezer bag. This has completely changed the game for us. And I have meals like this beautiful tandoori chicken that I can grab and just pull out of the freezer whenever I need it. I don't have to worry about coming up with a dinner idea. I don't have to worry about getting home to make something. I don't have to worry about going to the grocery store for those last couple of things. This tandoori chicken is great served over rice. That's my preferred way of enjoying it. Sometimes I'll add a little salt, some cilantro, or some lime to the rice just to bring in an extra flavor. I like to serve this tandoori chicken over or with some green onions on top. And then add some red pepper flakes if you want something spicy. So when you're actually cooking this meal, you're gonna throw it in your slow cooker. You're gonna add your fresh seasonings and all that stuff if you decided to make it fresh. But you're gonna add it to the slow cooker and you're gonna go ahead and mix everything together if you thawed it out the night before. Tip, you don't have to thaw it out the night before. If you forgot, you didn't have time, just throw that thing in the crock pot empty, or in the crock pot without thawing it, and switch it on low. I recommend cooking for an extra hour if it was frozen, just to make sure that everything is cooked well and cooked through. I hope you enjoyed this. I cannot wait for you to try out freezer meals. Give this tandoori chicken freezer meal a try, and please come back and let me know what you think. Do you think raw freezer meals are a good idea? Have you ever tried them before or even heard of them for your family? I promise you it's gonna make a huge difference. Don't forget to check out my other videos for more.